Hello, everybody. Today we're going to be doing our presentation today on urbanization. Today you're going to have a little bit of time in class today to work on your Ellis Island interactive tour. If you didn't finish that on the previous class, so once that's finished up, we're going to go through urbanization. So what does that mean? Urbanization is a very key vocabulary word that you're going to need to know for this unit. So urbanization, when you hear the word urban, you should think of like city. So urbanization is a time when people began moving into the cities, causing large cities. So essentially, urbanization means that it's the creation of the first big cities that were created um, during early American history. Immigrants and various people who are moving to the cities, causing them to become large. So places like Cleveland, obviously New York and Pittsburgh and Philadelphia and Boston, um, Cincinnati were a lot of the big urban centers that began to grow. In the late to early 1900s. I'm sorry, late 1800s, early 1900s. So again, urbanization, time when people began moving into cities, causing the creation of large cities. That's urbanization. All right, so what caused the buildup of these cities? One, new immigrants arrived in cities to work. So as we talked about in the last couple of classes, that millions of immigrants coming from Europe, other parts of the world, flocking into Ellis Island or Angel Island, and settling down to try and find work. So the new immigrants arriving in cities is a big cause for why these early cities are going to grow. Two is something called mechanized farming. That's another key vocabulary term that you're going to need to know. Mechanized farming is when think of mechanized, think of machines. Machines takes men's jobs, especially on the farm. Hence, mechanized farming, machines on the farms. So if you have more machines on the farms, that means that you're going to need less labor. So farmers who lost work are going to move to the cities as well to find factory jobs. African Americans are going to leave the South after the Civil War to look for work. So they're all going to move to these urban centers up north. And then obviously another big cause of it is going to be inventions. So steel, skyscrapers, trains. A lot of these factories, a lot of these inventions are going to be put in use in the cities. Those are the four key causes for why cities are going to be built up. So immigrants, as we talked about, they checked in at Ellis Island. Okay, then where did they go? Well, obviously they went to the cities, but as you guys, even look at our city in Cleveland. You got Tremont, you got Ohio City, um, you got West Sixth, the downtown area. You got like near the Brown Stadium. So there's a variety of different parts of Cleveland. So um, basically, what you're going to have in a lot of these cities is that you're going to have um, um, you're going to have these same immigrant groups are going to settle by each other. So like think of like Parma. Many of you guys probably know I'm from Parma. We have something called Polish Village in Parma. You have Ukrainian Village. Think of like Chinatown. We have a Chinatown in a lot of big cities. Think of Little Italy in Cleveland as well. That's another subsection of Cleveland as well. So you have these ethnic groups that decide to live by one another. They kind of create their own little village within a city. Now, why would they do that? Well, because think about it, they're moving thousands of miles away from their home, and this is a way for them to develop being comfortable. You're settling around people who speak the same language as you, so you can communicate with them easier. They share the same cultural heritage and traditions that you do. So this was more or less a comfort level for many immigrants for why they are going to settle in something called ethnic ghettos. Again, around people that are similar to them. All right. So what are some early problems in the cities? So think about this. Many of these cities, guys, are going to grow within 30, 40 years. That's a very quick period of time where you got millions of people flooding into your cities. So that's going to leave some cities, I would say maybe not equipped to handle thousands of people all of a sudden showing up. Because what do you need? You need places to stay. You need houses. You need apartments. You need more police. You need more hospitals. You need more schools. The problem is that these cities weren't able to build those things fast enough to accommodate everybody. So what's going to happen is there's going to be housing shortages. So one vocabulary term that you're going to need to know is something called a tenement. A tenement is a crowded apartment building with poor standards, sanitation, safety, and comfort. So here you see some pictures here. Right here you see a crowded area, not very big. Usually it's a one bedroom, one room place. You pack as many people as you can in to live in that one little tenement. Most of these are poorly built. Most of the windows didn't open. Most of them didn't have running water. Most of them didn't even have bathrooms in it. If you needed to go to the bathroom, you need to go out into the alley outside of your apartment and go to the bathroom. So these tenements were not ideal. They were not big. They lacked just basic accommodations for what most people would should or you would think would have. Transportation was an issue. Again, as I mentioned before, a lot of these cities they didn't have the infrastructure to accommodate large people. So transportation is going to be an issue. They're going to struggle to keep up with the growth, to move people to their jobs. Three, clean water is going to be an issue. It was difficult to produce and transport clean water to give to people. Um, so again, it's hard to accommodate with the increase in population. Waste and garbage is going to be an issue. Removal was a challenge and often neglected. As you guys, I think I showed you guys a picture the other day. Garbage all in the streets. There were no sewers either, guys. So if it rained, standing water would be laying out in the street, all muddy. And what is water? What is it? What is puddles? What does it attract? It attracts mosquitoes. Mosquitoes bring disease. So waste and garbage removal was a big issue. Also, if there's garbage all over the place, think of rats will also be an issue. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Hey, guys, can you guys be quiet for a minute? I'm finish up this video. Thank you. Um, Fires will also be a problem. Most of the early buildings that are going to be built. Say hi, Chase.
Hi, hi.
This is my two lovely little minions, Chase and Kennedy. Um, so fires will be a problem. Guys, can I finish my video? Can you guys go over there, please, just for a minute? I'm almost done. Fires will also be a problem. Many of the early cities, many of the materials they used to build early buildings was going to be wood. And what's the problem with wood? They catch on fire and it's going to start to spread. So there's a great fire in Chicago in 1871. That's going to basically the whole city of Chicago is going to burn down. Then you have the earthquake in San Francisco in 1906. Again, wood and earthquakes, it's going to be very sturdy. So this will be fixed with invention of steel. But again, these early cities in the mid 1800s, late 1800s will mostly be made of wood. And then crime is going to rise. So as you get more people coming into the cities, you have a lack of resources, maybe sometimes in some cases a lack of jobs. You're going to bring some people that are going to be resorting to gangs and life of crime, theft, and that kind of thing. So many of these early police departments weren't equipped to handle all that either. So crime's going to be an issue. And guess who's going to be blamed for that? Immigrants. Many of the natives are going to say, well, things were fine before the immigrants got here. So many of the immigrants started getting a very bad stigma about them, for blaming them for some of these problems. So here's some pictures of a tenement, as you guys see. Nothing fancy, nothing ideal, but they might have a whole family of 8 or 10 packed all into there. Again, another picture there. You see the picture of tenements. You see this roof. It looks like it's kind of caving in, made of wood, so it's very warped. Picture in the streets. Again, not really caring for garbage. See garbage all in the streets, and you see this dead cow in the street as well. Many of them would be left there to rot. So again, think about what's going to attract, right? Mice and rats, other rodents. These kids are playing right by it. So again, the sanitation levels was not very good. Then you see this alley of gangs. This guy carrying a bat right here. So again, very dangerous place to be. You'd have murder, and you'd have um, cases where children would be dying of disease as well. So the mortality rates at this time was very, very high. All right. So anyways, that is it for today's lecture. So again, today we finished off the Ellis Island web quest. We have these notes, and there'll be an exit ticket as well that we'll also at some point post.